Realtor friends, and welcome to week 2 of my Building Your Abundance plan in my Freedom to Flourish in Real Estate course. So, last week we talked about the plan. I gave you an action plan, something to build for 4 weeks, and I asked you to figure out your story, your vision, your goals, and to really just focus on downloading the plan, getting some stuff wrote on it so that you kind of know where you are and where you want to go. So if you missed last week, you got to go back and watch last week because that's where we start. That's the start. If you created the vision, then it's how do you work your way backwards to make that happen. When you have a goal, that's when you got to figure out, like, you don't just say, okay, well, my goal is to sell 10 houses. That might be your goal, but how are you going to reach your goal? It's about the action steps that you take. It's like the law of attraction. Once you figure out what it is that you want, those things are going to start being in front of you, the tools, the opportunities, the classes that you need to take. The all of the stuff will come to you once you know where you want to go. But until then, until you write down what your goals are and where you want to go and have that vision, you don't know. You're not going to notice anything, and no opportunities are going to be laid out in front of you because you have no goals. So that's really a lot more of what I talked about in week 1. But now we're to week 2 and we're talking about branding. I moved branding to week 2 because I think it's super important right now in the life that we're living. And so I have lots of additional resources that I'm putting into week 2 because I'm not a brand expert. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it and what I think is going to be a great course for you to take in order to figure out what your story is and what you need to do and who to follow, different things to listen to. I've been working on my brand all year. So I'm going to really share with you some of my stuff too and what that looks like. And so I'm going to now share my screen. I'm going to just go open up some stuff and we're going to go through my slides a little bit. I'm going to kind of jump around. But I hope that you will jump into your plan and really get busy on week 2 and start figuring out who you are and what your brand is. And once you figure that out, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do marketing pieces, for you to work on your foundations, your automations, your funnels. All of it's going to flow a lot easier when you yourself understand what your brand is. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And I'm going to just get in here and talk about this. I'm going to go through, I'm going to kind of jump around. I'm not even going to make my thing, well, I am going to make this big and put this in present mode. Okay, what is your story? Who are you? So often I ask agents this and they don't know. And, and I was one of them. I didn't know who I was. I was like, I'm a realtor. Like, I'm ready to show houses. I got my real estate license. Let's go. But no one was coming. Like, I wasn't getting leads. And I especially if this were happening in today's world, like, you really need to have a presence online or you need to have some kind of a plan. And we're going to talk about that more about lead generation funnels. But who are you? And I'm going to give you an example right now because I had a conversation with a girl a few months ago and she was a brand new agent, but she had been doing flips for a couple of years and she hadn't had any real estate transactions. And, but she'd done 7 flips in that time. I'm going to unshare my screen for a minute to tell you this story. Um, Sorry. So we're having this conversation and she says, "Well, I don't know. I'm so stuck because I'm doing flips, but I want to do real estate transactions." And I said, "Well, what are you doing for marketing?" And she said, "Well, I'm using Social Bay and I'm posting on my social media channels, but no one's responding." And I said, what are you sharing about you? Like what are you sharing? And I gave her an idea to make her content be all about her flips. And how many people would she get to follow her if she were telling the story about her doing flips? And another thing is that she's an immigrant. She moved to our country from another country and started her life all over and is taking advantage of living the American dream. Now, what if she started making all of that be her story and her content and her video and started just really showcasing who she was and what she does? And she was like, it's like a light bulb went off. And I haven't talked to her since. I don't even remember her name because I talk to agents all day, every day. And I'm so sorry when I hate it when I don't remember. But, we only have the capacity to hold like 150 relationships in our brains. And I'm well over that with the relationship part of my life. So I want to help everyone though. So I'm always down for conversation and just to really help you. So let's go back to my screen now and go into this. So figure out what your story is. What kind of story do you have that you can tell people on social media that will get more followers? Um, and here's the thing, people don't want to work with a real estate agent. They want to work with you. They want their realtor to be personable. They want to know that you're real life. Like they want to see behind the scenes and things like that. So, branding is not about sharing how great you are, though. It's about being vulnerable and honest. Now, it's okay to throw a couple of great things in there, but my friend April Pertwee, she does a whole storytelling uh, thing on using her formula ticks, and I'm going to share that. I'm going to share a video that we did last month too. She was our special guest in Power Girls, and she talks about storytelling. And remember, you're only telling this to your audience. You're not trying to get 5 billion followers. You're really just wanting to show up in front of your audience. And we go over that more in foundations and automations, but let's just, say your audience is in your CRM and you have 1,000 people and you're Facebook friends with them, you're Instagram friends with them, they follow you. And if not, then you need to go and make sure that you are friends with them on everything and they see all the stuff that you're putting out there. But that's your audience. It could be 1,000 people. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch. I'm going to talk more about that too here in just a second. Um, but part of this is also funnels. So this week is also about branding yourself and then building your funnels, your lead generation funnels. And your funnels can be different. I always tell agents, if you don't have enough clients, you don't have enough funnels and you just need to build out more funnels. And every funnel starts with an offer. What is your offer for this funnel? And whenever you go and you create your offers, that's where you and your brand are going to shine through. And people are going to get to know you because you're going to make your offer be more personable about you. So just start watching videos on branding and search for things and see how other agents have done it. But these are just some examples of different branding or not branding funnels that you could do. You should always have your VIP database. That should be your number one funnel. Go write down the names, addresses, emails of everyone you know, put them in a spreadsheet. I give you a blank spreadsheet. I'm going to show you here in a minute. And then get them all in there. There's your first audience. And then a community. I'm going to talk more about a community when we get to this slide right here. So we're going to come back to that. But your own personal community. And we'll talk about that. Social media, different things, paid leads. I don't know. You have to really know what you're doing with that and kind of study that, look and see who else is doing that in your area because across the country it's different. I've done Zillow for a couple of years and they were great in my area and then they were saturated and I quit. I've done realtor.com. It just depends. But I'm at Epic now. We have a lot of leads already that are free. So I'm just working those leads now. Referrals from realtors. I have a client right now, referral from an agent in Louisiana. Those are literally between VIP and realtor referrals. Those two could keep me busy in most years, I could just do business from those. But just some examples of some other ones are Fizbo's farming. There's literally 100 and plus ways that you could lead generate. If you're a parent, PTA maybe, or sports, those could be great communities or a whole funnel. So you're just going to build your entire funnel off that offer. So those offers could be anything from a blog. You could create a guide. You could do pay per click. You could do print, SEO, word of mouth, social media, all of it. But these are all of your offers. So, what offer are you going to create and put out into the world to try to get those people to opt in to be on in your world? And what does your world look like? It could be a newsletter. It could be an offer, like one of the offers that I use is HomeBot. That's one of my favorite offers. Uh, a guide. I have a buyer guide, a seller guide. Listings to leads is a great source to create offers, and I'm going to share that with you here in a minute. But you got to figure out what your offer and then what are your funnel steps? Are you going to do a monthly newsletter? Are you going to do a monthly market report? Are you going to call these leads monthly? Like you get to decide what your different steps are throughout the funnel. But here's the thing, you guys. Agents want now business. But here's the problem. The agents that have caught on to the funnels and the branding and all of this stuff, guess what? The people that are down here and they're ready to buy or sell, they've been living in somebody else's funnel for the past 2 years and they're not going to buy from you unless you're lucky enough to get them because they come as a referral or something like that. But if you start working on your funnel and pouring the leads into the top of your funnel and then getting them through to the end, then you're the agent that they're going to want to work with and close the deal because you've shown them that you're the valuable piece that they need to have a good transaction. Okay. So now let's talk about your offers. What is your offer? You now kind of have your brand, you know your story, you're getting some ideas, and you figure we're going to all do these three funnels first of all. And if you need more after this, then we'll work on those later. But the first one needs to be your VIP. I use HomeBot and I love HomeBot and I love keeping current matters, but I also know that if you're with Epic, like Kate, we have Lofty, and Lofty has you could go build a newsletter in Lofty. You could give them a free market report monthly so that they kind of know what their house is doing. You just got to decide on one, pick one. You can change it. Used to do different things. I also do a newsletter monthly for my VIP people, but I build out those things because I want their referrals. And so you got to figure out what are you going to do for your VIP, and you go and you build out your entire VIP funnel so those people know what you do. So you can have newsletter, HomeBot, send them something from Keeping Current Matters on the market in your area, keep them educated. And then you could do pop buys if you know them and you want to spend time with them. You could do client appreciation events. There's all kinds of different things that you could use for your VIP offer. All right, now I want to talk about your passion community. Offer number two is what is something you could put together for a passion community? And I talked about community right here. So I want to go a little bit further into community. So my husband and I we're Jeepers. Like my husband has a really badass Jeep and it's called the White Rabbit. And we go on events and we do Jeep events. We get to know all these people. So I have this whole community that are Jeepers. And so one of the things that I do is I hand things out when we go on events. I put like a little package together and I go hand it out to all of them like a pop by at an event. It's great. And I just put a little tag that says, I'm Dawn Loding and I would love your real estate referrals. And I give them a little gift. And that's just one idea. I also sponsored things at our Jeep events, and That's it. I have one girl who put together a whole event on and created a Facebook group on plants. Like she's the plant lady. So she sells plants and she collects people's information as a realtor, and she that's her community is the plant Facebook group. So there's all kinds of different things that you could do. That's also her branding. Like she's known as the plant lady. So what do you do? What are you passionate about in your community that you could do? Um, Also, I'm about to launch another passion community. It's going to be empty nesters. So my husband and I are empty nesters now, and I'm going to create a Sunday fun day for empty nesters and just start marketing that, getting video of different events that we go to and things that we do. So you get to be creative, and that's the beauty of being a real estate agent is you get to be creative, and it's all about whatever you want to do. All right, so offer number three is going to be something for the public. And I'm just using a relocation guide as an example. And a relocation guide is something that you put together and you create. But I'm going to show you what that can look like in Listings to Leads, because Listings to Leads has all of that. So I'm going to point you there because they have like 20 different guides. I'm actually going to show you that in Canva because I've downloaded them. So what is that? It could be you could work with senior citizens. You could work with first-time home buyers. You could work with veterans. You get to decide. But what do you want to do? So our goal is always to continue to build our VIP up. So as you get people into your stuff, then they become your VIP. So your number one goal, you guys, is to build your database and work it. Like that's it. That's all our job is. Build the database, do the fun things and just keep doing them. But so often as realtors, we get stuck in the part, oop, that's next week. So that's this is it for this. We get stuck in the part of I want now business. But now business is great, but if you don't work on your funnel, you're not going to have any now business. So that is my slide deck. So I'm going to put this video into my classroom here in school. So if you don't have this, I don't know how you're seeing this video. Maybe you're finding my stuff through YouTube or something. But if you don't, I will also put this in the link. But here is the link for members. I will put that link in this video. But if you go to Classroom, week one is where we talk about mindset and the plan. Week two, I'm in the process of replacing this because I used to do foundations in week two and I got to go redo all of this. So by the time you see this, it will be branding. It will be lead generation, funnels, and branding. That's going to be week two because I think we need to start with this in mind. And then next week, we're going to go into the foundation pieces of your real estate business. And week four, we're going to talk about automations for your business. But these are all in here right now. So if you want to jump ahead and jump around, you can. Just know that it's under construction and I'm just moving these around a little bit because I think it's so important that we really work on our branding first. So, I'm going to put that video here and redo this later this afternoon and launch it before tomorrow. So, now, with that being said, also when you go in here and you open up this one, oh, not this one. Sorry, I want to go to I'm gonna, oh, I know. I'm gonna go put the videos. If you go to Classroom and you scroll down here, there's a lot of additional videos in here. So I'm about to add the video from April on branding through storytelling. I will put that one in here later today also, so you'll have it. But in the meantime, these are all amazing videos to help you. As I have these classes, this is where I'm gonna put everything. So any of these classes are great, and the title pretty much says it all. I had this guest speaker in here to talk about going from invisible to influencer on Instagram. Your Instagram curb appeal. This is the best video I think I've ever seen on how to work your Instagram. And then this is a video that Walt Key came in and did and talking about strategic partnerships to get leads. And then this is a Canva class, you guys. If you don't know how to use Canva, like these videos are amazing. They're free. They're here. I would like to be your free coach until you can afford to get a real coach because I am not a coach. I'm not a trainer. I'm just a real estate agent who uses all these systems and I just share it with everybody weekly in this school platform. So if you're here, I wanted to go back to week one really quick and show you where a couple of other additional resources are. If you haven't done week one, please go do it. It's all right here. Here's the challenge. Here's the video from week one. Here's the plan. If you go in here and you download your own abundance plan, I've already updated this so that week two is in here. So there's week one. Here's week one. Here's week two. Week two, branding yourself. This video right here is what made me change everything. This is such a good video. And it just talks about branding and really making sure that you're hitching your wagon to the right train and moving forward in the right direction. I knew I was doing that with Epic Realty, and I'm just really helping my agents that are here do the same. And helping them through helping them build their businesses. So this is all in week two. And then week three, next week, we're going to work on foundations. And here they all are. And that's a great week. And it's really one of the most important things in your real estate business because if you don't have your foundations set up, then you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to have a solid foundation to build upon. And I used to have foundations first, but people would get lost there. So I wanted to show you, I wanted to move mindset to week one and branding and lead generation funnels to week two. Now we're going to go do our foundations. And if you get through week three and week four this month and you didn't get anything accomplished, don't worry, you're not alone. I'm still working on my plan every single week. And that's the beauty of it is that you can start here and you can come back later and you can make it even better. And so here's the link to the master VIP database. It's in week one. I give you all the tools in week one. So this is all in here. The plan, it's all here. So join me and every first Tuesday of every month I do a Q&A and you don't want to miss that because that's your opportunity to ask me any questions. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you could go to the community right here and you could just post your questions and I'll see it and introduce yourself and I'll see it because that's how school works. So, okay, there, got three people pending approval right now. And I'm there, all in. And classroom, the calendar has the everything in it. This is the monthly call. And I think that's about it. Oh, I know. I was going to show you a little bit about branding. So I'm Dawn Loading, and I have a website called dawnloading.com. And this is where I learned about branding. And this is all about me. This is me. I have a space in here for buyers and for sellers, but also this is more just Dawn. Like this is what I do. I help real estate agents. So you could go and learn all about me and who I am on my website. And you can join me in different things that I do in here. And this is what I did. I branded myself, and this is more about me and my story and my services that I offer. This is the link to take my challenge. If you want to sign up, it'll send you right where you are right now. My Facebook group, I do have a private Facebook group called Real Estate Untangled, and I all of this stuff is in my school. So if you just want to join my school, it's all right here. And I have a blog, and I'm just getting started on my blog. I did my first blog post today. Literally, it'll be launching later this week, and it was about my journey as a guest speaker on Empowered with Meg Ryan. I was one of two agents that was asked to go with Josh, our founder, and speak. And I'm so excited for my blog to get done. So you'll be able to watch for that on my site. So yeah, I think that's about it, you guys. That covers week two. And I am so grateful that you're here on this journey with me. And that's just what it is. We're on this journey together. I'm not selling you anything, I'm sending you to the right people. I want to talk about that too for coaching. I've always got a coach. I've got right now a money coach, and I've got a coach that is helping me with my story and my branding. That's April Pertwee. I'm going to put all of my favorite things in the video here. So if you're watching this video, it'll be on YouTube, but you'll be able to scroll through and you'll be able to see the links to my favorite people and coaches that have helped me get along the way. But if you don't know what you need a coach for, don't hire one. You got to figure out what's missing from your plan. And if you just work with me for a couple of months and on your own plan and get this all figured out, then you'll know what's missing. So I will see you on the inside, y'all. Make it a great week. Bye.